Many of David Cameron's party colleagues wanted an EU referendum in his government's Queen's speech and are planning to vote for an amendment, regretting the lack of one. Mr Cameron's starting to remind people of the last Tory Prime Minister to be plagued by Eurosceptics. So this afternoon, the Conservative Party published a draft referendum bill, though it may not satisfy many Eurosceptics. Is that enough to stop you holding your vote on the amendment tomorrow?
No, and the reason is I welcome this development. This is something that wasn't on the table just days ago, but it is the second best option because what the Prime Minister is hoping is that a backbencher will take this forward via a private member's bill and a determined minority can block that procedure.
So dozens of Tory MPs are still set to vote against their own government's Queen's speech tomorrow.
My Lords, pray be seated.
And all because of the issue that has troubled the party for years: Europe. Margaret Thatcher started as a Europhile but became more of a sceptic.
No.
She was forced out when many in her party disagreed. John Major's premiership was undermined by divisions on Europe.
I am not prepared to let it poison the political atmosphere any longer.
There are still Conservatives who want to stay in Europe.
I think the important thing is to make sure we get the right result from any referendum that's held to avoid the catastrophe to the country's economy and our political standing of the world if we were to be so very, very reckless as to leave the European Union.
But Lady Thatcher's former parliamentary aide says it's now more widely accepted that there's a problem with Europe than it used to be.
At that stage they had a parliament and a court. They've not got a flag, an anthem, a president, and they've got all the trappings of a European superstate. At that stage we were warning people that's what was going to happen. At that stage they could not see that we were necessarily right. We don't need to prove that now. It's there out there for everybody to see.
So the Conservative Party as a whole does seem a bit more Eurosceptic than it used to be. Mr Cameron's real problem is his Lib Dem coalition partners won't let him go with them. So this is not quite the same old Tory mess over Europe. It's a slightly different one. Carl Dinnan, ITV News, Westminster.